And Discord might be coming out with video chat in the near future. So, I
Oh,
as we've been doing it more and more on Discord, I've liked it. It's been pleasant. I like the extra options you get over Hangouts. That said, we'll be happily excited for video calling. Anyways, there the broadcaster goes. We are live. We're just flying into it. This is tonight. I'd say Group 2, but it is Group 2 member Brock Brooks running around doing things. We are. This is
quotation marks.
Yeah.
Things equals women.
The campaign Pride and Prudence, episode 19.5. Oh man. This is an in-between episode as Group 2 has been running around the city for the first half of the 34th of Father. We are checking in on Brock and what he was doing in that time. So you have a little over half a day to get some stuff done. At the top of the morning, your party... Oh, what's up?
Yeah. You started the party off last session at the end of the 33rd, asking if they wanted to do anything before starting the 34th. And since Effie is nocturnal, I figured we'd start there.
I have a memory of 3 minutes, is about as far back as I can remember, so I had no idea. Hey, I'm getting a Facebook call. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a phone call too. Everybody's trying to reach me. Are we killing people? It's weird. Sorry about that. Yeah. So it would be the 33rd of Father then that night. Does Brock want to do anything?
Well, like I said, Effie tends to only appear at night, considering what kind of being she is. So I figured that would be when I would be talking to Effie.
Okay. And keep in mind too, if you work through the night, by morning, you'd be suffering levels of exhaustion.
Yeah.
As you are, quotation marks, only human.
Yeah.
End quotations.
We're just hoping.
I don't think Effie was staying with you guys. I think she's been checking in at the keep.
Yeah.
But as I have her in my notes, and this could just be bad note taking on my part, because I remember bringing this up one other time, and then the conversation got derailed about something about the mansion. I believe I have her still staying at Alshindoris's house.
She might be. Or crap, I don't remember how many rooms were reserved at the Nacard Manor.
Yeah, that's where I remember the conversation was. I don't know if they renovated her room because she wasn't there with you guys when you originally came, and I do remember you guys asking for an additional room for Tristan. But that said, she knows where to find you. She was the one who told you, your sister went missing, and she's the one who's been, trespassing into the library here over and over. So
I figured it was like, all right, now that he knows his sister is safe, connect with this bastard.
Yeah.
So I think checking in every night because, like I said, she sleeps during the day.
Yeah. She doesn't actually check in with you in the nighttime, and not just saying that to like force you to go to sleep. It would be the morning time that she comes back, just because she's courteous and she's like, oh yeah, they sleep at this time.
Okay, well then that's fine then. We'll do it at the morning.
All right, but yeah, the party meets up, and in the morning time, Effie would be waiting with her stack of books. walking into the Surreal Manor, and she's going to... I don't think she was there I don't think she was there the time when you went over with everybody that the Ryren dagger was built.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, so she as everybody goes their separate ways, she would approach Brock and Career, and still Career would feel mildly uncomfortable around her and be trying not to display it, but I guess as close as you two have been getting, you'd be able to notice it a little bit on her face.
Yeah.
And Effie's going to come up holding a stack of 3 books and say, alright, so now that you're done charging off towards your sister and she's alright, are you ready to go over my notes?
Yeah. I have some stuff to talk to you about too, actually.
Career is going to just place a hand on Brock's shoulder and then just kind of bite her bottom lip for a moment and then say to Effie, are going to say to Brock, we shouldn't waste her time any longer. And she's going to turn to Effie and say, whoever it was, they have what they're looking for. The weapons in their possession. You should probably just go back to searching for your master. Effie's going to just kind of look stunned for a moment and say, who has the weapon? Which one? Wait, go ahead.
What do you mean? What do you mean, which one? Like, is there multiple groups trying to make this weapon, or are there multiple weapons trying to be made?
Well, there are multiple weapons on the list.
Yes, there are. But we have a formula on how to make one, and the materials are in the city for how to make one. And we have a good belief that that one is Ryren.
Effie's gonna swear. She has seen the book of formulas because you did bring it to her, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I should still have that in my possession. I want to say it's the book with what's his name's name on it. What's his name's name?
I think I know the name I gave you. What's it?
Earthfire book. I still have it in my possession, so I know I still have the book of formulas.
Okay.
And the name is on Leonard card.
Yeah. I saw that when I shared your list of notes. I was reading it. I was like, wait, that's the name I gave? Okay, cool. Because I ADD goldfish and didn't know I had said that. So.
Yep.
Effie's gonna just look shocked for a moment and say, "All right." After the shock passed, she's gonna say, "All right, that's good to know that I spent, what is it, 5 days of her time? Or 4 days of her time?" She's gonna say, "It's good to know I spent 4 days searching after this and it was all in vain."
Well, on the plus side, do you have because we don't know who is after this. We just know that someone dealing with the Ruby Shadow and probably the Fifth Ascended. There's only 4, so I can only assume what the 5th means.
She's gonna look, or just rub her chin for a second and say, wait, The Fifth Ascended is here in the city?
Someone claiming to be the Fifth Ascended is.
She's gonna say I was in Darindar, in Ardersarai investigating that cult for my mistress when she went missing, and I abandoned my search. But they were nothing more than a small group of believers in a Terai. Figured they would be hunted and called off before they grew into any noticeable threat, and they have an earthfire weapon?
Well, I mean, if you want to make your more powerful, I'm assuming having a relic like that can easily...
Can easily what?
Do so.
Yeah.
Can easily...
Yeah, she's just gonna nod at that and say, I don't doubt it, but, the man who led them, was simply a human, not afflicted with any of the ailments that, come with being Terai. He was instead touched by one of the creatures called the Bound in the Alien Forest. They're magical anomalies, but I didn't expect them to, once again, last as long as they did. When I was first following them, there was nothing more than a couple dozen of them on their last legs running from the city guards.
Just being touched on the Bound due to one stuff.
I'm gonna roll her a history check to see if she knows. Oof. She's going to... she's gonna just shrug at that and say, my mistress has me investigate more, dangerous matters. The Bound are no threat. I've never spent time studying them.
I have a question. Does Brock know about... Brock knows about the taint and Urkus's soul. Does he know how Urkus got it? I know it was told to them by Draylin last session, but I don't know if it was mentioned any time before it.
He knows Makana said she was gonna kill Urkus's father because he's a spirit aberration. That's about the most he know. I will allow him a intelligence check, DC 15, to try and put two and two together.
Oh yeah, because this is going to work so well.
Hey, look, there you go.
Hey!
He would know that he would know Urkus's village is on the edge of the Alien Forest, and that Makana said that she was going to kill Urkus's dad because he's a magical anomaly.
Okay, and that is where this Fifth Ascendant guy was touched by the Bound as well.
She said the Bound are in the forest. Nah, the guy wasn't from Forestfall. Urkus is not the Fifth Ascendant.
No,
or is he? Has Ramon been masterminding this whole campaign?
I wouldn't put it past him. It is totally plausible. Why he doesn't roleplay very well. No offense, Ramon, if you ever end up watching this. He was trying to keep quiet because he's secretly the evil. Behind everything. No, it's his twin brother.
Yeah, but Brock would have the information to put all that together. And, you know, of course he would know that it was Ataclon who recognized the taint.
Yep. Whew, that gives me a lot. Alright. So, I relay to Effie all the information about...
Speak of the devil. Everyone's just like, you know what? F Jordan. F that dude.
Right? But, anyways, so I relayed to Effie everything about Ramon's condition and how possible that his it might be possible that his dad was the creature that had God damn it, Ramon. His dad may or may not be the creature that touched the Fifth Ascended. Assuming a bound can have intelligence to read.
Effie's gonna shake her head and say, "No, that's something the witch would do, just to mess with the Shadow Wardens." But now it does concern me that it got to this level.
All right.
Peace out, Ramon.
See you, Ramon.
Eventually, those messages will pop up past my head on the stream. Oh wait, I can move my head aside. You're just gonna go ahead and boom. There we go.
Ramon interrupting me, making me laugh. Oh. So, yeah. Alright. So, Fifth Ascended, touching the forest that Ramon's from. It's a big forest, they may not have even met.
Yeah, the forest covers about a fourth of the entire continent. So it's pretty massive.
Well, Effie, in your investigation, did you ever discover where the people who were trying to create these weapons were staying at?
She's gonna shake her head at that and say, no, I did not. I was only able to uncover a trail, and a very loose one at that.
Can I roll insight on that?
You can.
Never mind. Like always, I believe anything that is told to me.
Just nods. Yep. She's got boobs. Can't be lying.
Can't be lying. Obviously telling the truth. Not trying to hide a single thing from me. Nope, no way. She loves me. Why would she hide from me?
She wants me.
Alright. Well... Well, I think that the next thing to do is follow that trail and try and find a lead as to this new Ryrend is.
Oh, say that again? Who else knew Ryrend is...
No, we need to follow this loose trail to figure out where the new Ryrend is.
Yeah,
knowing the route to the boss room is the best course of action.
Yeah, she's gonna nod and say, I completely agree. It's only a matter of time before something like that starts dealing some serious damage or falls into the wrong hands, and then you have another situation with the Torch of Kargog.
Is it still missing from the museum?
She shakes her head and says, no, historically it was,
it was on Betrayer's Isle.
Yeah, historically it was looted from, the city it was kept in Lil Nagai, as it just slipped my mind. But she's going to say historically it was looted from the city in Lil Nagai, and after such found its way to Galkin. And not much else needs to be said. After that, the Kayak Empire was soon to fall. And as a student, well off as they were in the arcane arts, it's easy to deduce the Torch had a hand in that.
I have a question. What is in the Galkin area? Because I'm talking to Evie.
Okay.
Because from my research in the Earthbound weapons, at least 3 of them have made their way over there.
She's gonna say it's the New World, the Land of Hope. After Cedal has been broken and shattered so many times, she's gonna say my people found a and she's gonna laugh at that. My people found a place to live on the corner of the world that they call home. A chance at life. But she's just gonna shrug and say it's just a vast landscape. There's a massive desert spanning mountains, large marshes, bitter tundras,
Do you think that
lush
Terra might be
beaches.
the ones taking these powerful weapons away from here?
She's going to shake her head at that and say they have no need. As long as an Earthfire stands between the Vale and Heimsdale, they're protected.
Maybe it's a way to. Maybe they did it to keep the Earthfire weapons out of human hands.
She's gonna just like step forward to that and say, "Are you insinuating something about Terai?" Or
No, I'm insinuating that humans are awful creatures and have a tendency to start wars. If they have powerful weapons, it's more likely to start a war because they believe they have the backing of God behind them.
And she's just gonna smile to that and say, "Amen to that." That's a statement I've felt true far too many times in my lifetime.
Brownie points. So yeah. Anyways, Ryren. Do you want me to go with you? Apparently my group left today, so I'm free.
DM loading. Let me think real quick if Effie would have any contacts to find out who would wield such a thing. I need to look at. Actually, Effie is going to ask you, where do you think we should start on something like that?
Well, we could start with your benefactor. He seems to know something about the Bound. He may know something about the Fifth Ascended as well.
She's gonna raise an eyebrow and say, "My benefactor?"
I forgot the guy's name. Krun's brother.
And she's gonna say
Adequan.
She's gonna say, Curious, he's just a friend of mine.
Well, you were staying with him, so.
And she's gonna say, no, he gives me safe passage in the city when I'm here. If you're, if you aren't aware, there are some people that would rather just have my head for me being me.
There's some people who would rather have my head for being me. I don't see why. I'm such a great person.
You keep thinking that, okay? Don't let anyone tell you differently. But she's going to nod and say, yeah, we can go check with, Curious. However, he's pretty out of the loop, on a lot of issues. His head's in the clouds.
I have, 2 other ideas.
Career right now is just cringing.
I'm going to completely ignore that. That Effie doesn't notice.
Effie is fully aware of her pun. She said it with all due seriousness. The Sage of the Air Temple has his head in the clouds. Or the Ocular of the Air Temple.
Oh, I thought she knew why his head was in the clouds. Probably, questions about why his brother's house burnt down and who's behind it. I thought Career was cringy because she was there that night.
I imagine that would probably be going through her head too.
But anyways, since the Air Temples, has the clouds, we can always go to the Water Temple and speak to a goddess directly and see if she has any information about a fifth ascended.
She's going to just like gesture to herself and say, me, inside of Umiya's temple. You're crazy.
Or, since Brock is great, I can look and see what this of Umiya's story liquid for us, and maybe it has something valuable about the Fifth Ascended.
Wait, her story liquid? Say that again? You cut out a little bit on me.
Yeah, you remember earlier when I hit on Umiya, and she gave me a vial and said this will provide you with a really good story? Oh.
Did I? I thought that gave you a boon.
You told me good story.
A good story.
It was your words. I thought it was like a memory vial.
I could have been smoking cocaine that day, because I was pretty sure that was a... Let me read this real quick. Let's see.
This was what secret I had planned for you, Brandon. I was going to open that can of worms up.
I'll have to go back and look at that session. But I'm pretty sure that I had that functioning as just basically a super healing potion that gave you a boon. But I will double check on it.
Because I have an inventory as a vial of story liquid / Umiya.
I'm just saying, you got even if it functions like that, and I'm gold fishing, is that something you want to spend now?
Well, that's why I saved it. It's like I don't know when the hell this will ever be useful. But I figured it'd be useful when we started running into dead ends.
I don't think you guys are at a dead end yet. Everybody has forgotten the one of the most essential factions that you guys have met.
Well, going from my list of things, the Calkin's dead, and I have no way of knowing who is where as far as the Calkins. I can't do that. I have no idea how to get in contact with the Silver Seagulls. Because I wasn't there for that session. No, Brock Brooks was there during that session.
Yeah, he was. He convinced Orensina he got her name and convinced her not to attack the party.
Oh, that was with Mega Wizard.
Oh yeah, Mega Wizard.
I wasn't there for Mega Wizard. Oh, I can go find Orensina and find the Silver Seagulls.
That's one option.
Let me look at my notes and see if there's anything any other way I could get this ended from. Ocular Adderquan, but we don't think that he is at the right place right now. Yeah. I will bring up that I may or may not know somebody who's in the Silver Sigil, if she recognizes that name at all. And I'll pronounce it correctly just to make Career turn to me and go, I thought you always pronounced it the Silver Seagulls.
I actually have to check my notes because I think she would. Let's see. She's gonna just look at you for a moment and just squint her eyes and say, did you have dealings with them, with the last sage, Sage Alshandoris?
No. After reading his journal, I thought that they were horrible people. But they're in the know. It may be enough. And, well, I may or may not like to flirt around a bit, and may or may not have a contact in there now.
Career wasn't with you guys when you guys went to the house, right?
No. With, just a basic group plus just...
Career's gonna look at you and say, wait, who did you meet? Effie's also gonna fold her arms and say, the Silver Sigil, they're not ones to leave a trail leading back to them. Are you sure you have a contact with them? I've met a few at the university. Spies and agents they've planted there.
Well, it seemed like someone who wanted nothing to do with them, so I don't know if she'd be able to get back in contact. But it's a lead that I have, unless you know someone else who is more well-netted into their group.
Effie is going to roll her eyes and say, I know somebody, but I would not talk to him. I would not talk to him in 1,000 years. I would not talk to him in any era. If the world was ending, fine. So, let's go see this lady instead.
Alright. I guess we'll be on the hunt for Orensina then.
She nods and gestures to the door and says, "Lead the way."
All right. I guess we do an investigation check to see if I can find Orncina.
All right.
Or would you just assume that I find her?
Well, how would you go about it? Because if you roll a nat 20 investigating a corner, you find dust in a corner, but that doesn't lead you to her.
Well, I don't think she'll stay close to the Calkin office, considering, like I said, she didn't want to have much to do with the Silver Sigil anymore. But that's where I was starting to branch out from there, just like the town. Probably check the taverns and stuff, trying to figure out where she stayed at, because she doesn't seem like a local.
Okay, so you're gonna start over by the Calkin office.
Yep.
Alright, you can either head inside, or you can roll me an investigation check in the area.
Oh yeah, we could just head inside. That set off the alarm last time. I'll investigate the area. I'm not sure if investigating inside the Calkin office is going to do much good. Hey, look at that 20!
Hey! Alright, so you're going to start your investigation, over in the, you're gonna start your investigation over in the near the Forge Ring, because the Calkin office is actually just east of the Forge Ring. And, I'm assuming you're probably gonna start off at the office and start fanning your way out from there. And as you do, and you're scanning the buildings.
Can I make one thing, Brandon?
Yes.
If it's too late, it's fine. But I want to bring Nathan with us, because I feel like having protection in my time of need is better than none.
I feel like I need protection. Has Career, the BPS character in the group, and Effie with you, and decides to bring Nathan too. Alright, whatever. I mean, you don't get more well protected than you already are, so you're rolling 3D. But anyways,
I have one fighter and 2 casters. I feel good now.
Wait, who's the fighter?
Well, I'm assuming Effie is. She may be a caster. I may have 3 casters, in which case we're a group of 4 casters.
Anyways, though, you're able to, scanning the buildings, you're going to see a blonde head, in a window across the street, looking directly at you, standing at a window.
Alright. I'm going to look up and smile at her and give her a nice wave.
She responds with slapping her hand across her face. And then she gestures swiftly, like from her right to her left, like open palm, just like waving you to move away, like go away, keep walking, go. Like I feel like you can understand what I'm saying.
All right. I am going to then walk towards that building.
She begins pointing, like with her finger, like down, and then she points at you, and then she points in the direction you're walking again.
As in trying to tell me not to go there?
Yeah, as in just keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to point at me, and then I'm going to point back at her, and then have my 2 little fingers and go as if, making the walking motion with my 2 fingers. And then, and then nod and going, yeah.
Alright, you're going to walk into this place, below, and I have to check her factions. Because there's so many of them at this point, I really need to... You know what? I think I'm just gonna start putting like 1, 2, 3, 4 on these character sheets, and it's like, if you got a 1, you're part of this, you got a 2, you're a part of this, you got a 3, you're a part of this.
I'm also on my way, you know. I'm assuming the other 3 can see me making hand motions to a girl up in the window. And I'm just gonna tell them, it's like, make sure she doesn't run away. In case she, like, decides to bolt out the back door.
Walking into, this building, it is a small, tanning house. There are a couple tubs on the floor, and, racks with, people working the hide. It's... use flaxseed and something else. I don't know. It smells pretty potent in here as they're turning hide into leather in these tubs. It is a multi-story building. As you step inside, the 5 people currently, you know, dipping hides into these tubs and moving them around are going to look at you, and as you step in, and the man nearest to the door is going to say, are you one of the smiths? I haven't recognized you if you've placed an order.
No, I'm not. I was wondering, do you rent the rooms above you?
He's going to shake his head and say, not really. They're mostly storage rooms.
Oh, because I saw an acquaintance of mine and I was wanting to meet her here.
He's gonna just shrug and say, go get a tavern. There are plenty of them. The city's alive right now.
No, I mean, she's already here. She was upstairs.
And he's gonna say, in the storage rooms above? And he's gonna turn back to one of the other men working the hides, and says, "Hey, this guy says there's someone upstairs." That guy's gonna call back and say, "Yeah, some adventurer needed a place to stay. Paid a pretty coin for it. I let her up." He's gonna say, "Hey, looks like you're right. She is up there."
So, is it alright if I just make my way up real quick?
He's gonna just like point and say, "Don't steal anything."
I won't.
Effie's gonna grab his finger and say, "Why would you think we would do that?" The man's going to gonna shrink for a moment and say, and just, you know, I'm just saying, there's stuff up there. Well, I mean, there's nothing up there. Just see your friend and get out. Effie's going to throw his finger to the side or throw his hand to the side and just walk by.
Yeah, so everybody's a little hot-blooded up here. I promise we will not steal anything. More to it, if I come back later, do you know how to make a, very well-studded armor? Like, maybe with a +1?
The man's gonna say, we just tan the leather. We don't fashion it in anything. The blacksmiths place orders here.
Oh, fair enough. We'll be on our way.
Alright, you are, you head upstairs. There are, 4 rooms up here. You are able to deduce the room that, Orensina was in, And before you can even knock on the door, she opens it. And she's standing at the door and simply says, "What?"
So, you wouldn't still be in contact. Well, actually, mind letting us in first? I hate having to talk in the hallways.
She's gonna say, "Unlike some people, I actually have a job that I have to do."
I mean, unlike some people, the things I do is saving the world nonsense.
And she's gonna say, "I do that too."
Really? By working for this Silver Sigil.
And she's gonna say, "Thanks to me, we stopped a set of ghosts from getting out from the basement there."
Well, thanks to me, you didn't chop off my party's head.
And looking at you now, she's going to take a step back and just open the door fully so you can come in, and just grumble, "I'm kind of regretting that."
Thank you very much.
This person wants to chop off my head. Hey, let's talk.
I allow all the ladies to enter first because I'm a gentleman.
Nathan, you go first. See if she's actually going to do it. Yeah. Nathan steps into the room and immediately starts walking up to the crates and opening them and peeking inside.
Hey. Don't.
Yeah, and she's gonna say, "What? I'm not stealing anything. He didn't say we can't look at stuff."
I'll make sure to check her belongings before we leave.
Orencina's just gonna shrug and say, "It's stuff. It can be replaced."
Yeah, but she has a thing with sticky fingers.
Nathan's gonna call back to you as she's pushing a crate over and looking at another one underneath it, and say, "That was one time, and it was only because they took something that was actually mine."
Yeah, and then you ended up in a collar, didn't you?
She's gonna say, "Well, that was because there were other things there, but I suppose you're right." Nonetheless, she still continues digging through crates, and by digging through crates, I mean at this point not just opening them and looking at them. She's actively moving the contents around of each of them. Some of the larger ones, she even bends over and sticks her head in.
So I'm going to turn to Career and ask to make sure that everything's put back and that nothing gets put in a pocket.
Career is going to turn to Effie and say, "I really don't want to grapple with her again."
You have a net.
Effie's going to just raise an eyebrow and say, "Wait, again?"
I turn to Career and go, "You have a net now."
She's going to look towards Orencina and say, "Won't you get kicked out if they steal something and they're here as your friends?" And Orencina's going to say, "Wait, my friends, I don't even know you guys. I know him, barely." And she's going to just turn to Nathan and say, "Stop that!" Nathan, who's already knocked over another set of crates, looks up, like, surprised, with kind of the, "Wait, who, me? Look?"
Anyways, after destroying all the peace in this room. So, since you haven't met yet, this is my wife, Career. This is, my new friend, Nathan. And this is my old friend, Effie. And we have some questions about how to get in touch with the Silver Sigil.
just forgot her name. Orencina's gonna say, they contact you if they need you. It's not a very difficult process.
That again?
Oh, they contact you if they need you. It's not a very difficult process.
So, if we walk into the Calkin office, they will be summoned again?
And she's gonna say, why would you do that?
Because I have some questions that they may be able to have the answers to.
She's going to, shake her head and say, unfortunately, no. It's solely my duty today to ward people from the office. The two ghosts are out in the basement, so it's more dangerous than before. However, there are things among their faction that they have to attend to. Nonetheless, the pay's good, and the Wake of Earth's tomorrow, so I won't have to do it for much longer.
If we get rid of these ghosts, will they reward us?
Effie's going to interject and say, you can't really get rid of a ghost. There's something... They're a different type of Terrai. There's something causing them to come back. You have to find their body and put it at rest. That's most likely why the Calkin had them restrained down there, because if you kill them in a few days, they'll just come back someplace else in the city and start wreaking havoc.
They always near their bodies?
Effie shakes her head and says no. Their bodies could literally be anywhere.
Do ghost terrorized have a intelligence, or had they lost all sense of humanoid being?
She's going to say they retain some somewhat of their intelligence, but a Terrai like that's been down there for who knows how long, it's probably on the verge of going feral, or has been feral several times. It's not something you can reason with. It's not something that wants to be reasoned with.
When is your shift over, Orencina?
She's going to say, when I choose to leave, they'll have to find somebody else. I'm no prisoner.
Well, if they contact you when they need things done and you don't get things done for them, what do they do?
She says, I'm a mercenary by trade. What can they do? Other than hunt me down and try and kill me. But if I'm on the other side of the world, what does it matter?
Fair enough. I assumed I thought they had something on you. The last person who was in touch with them, they were dealings with him not with money, but with blackmail.
She's going to shake her head and say, I keep the affairs of my heart locked away from all prying eyes.
Man, I want to be smooth right now, but I don't trust me not getting hit by the women behind me. Well, actually, is Career still distracted by Nathan and the boxes?
No, nobody's paying Nathan attention. Do you look up at her?
Yeah, I take a quick glance at the situation around me before I decide whether or not to hit on this chick.
Nathan currently has her shoulder against a large set of boxes, and she's moving it slowly so it doesn't make noise on the floor.
Are you finding anything of interest over there?
She looks up and says, "What? Me? Stop searching."
All right. I'm gonna roll an insight on that.
Yeah. Effie and Career just kind of shake their heads at her comment. You can go ahead and roll insight.
I mean, that's really for a crit fail.
7. I mean, from Brock looking at her, she's not searching for anything.
She's just moving stuff around.
She did technically say, "I'm not searching for anything anymore."
I was like, just make sure you move it before you leave. I don't want to get in trouble. Well, does Effie, after listening to all this, have any ideas on how we can talk about the Silver Sigil?
Effie is going to pick up on one of Orencina's statements and say they're handling matters inside their organization. How do you know that? Orencina's going to say the one I did have contact with told me. And she's going to say, how did you contact her? And Orencina's going to say, that's personal. That's for me to know. That's my contract.
This is what we've been trying to get to. Is how to contact someone actually scheduled.
She's gonna say she gave me a stone.
Can we see said stone?
She's going to dig through her pouch for a moment and then pull it out and say, "Look, I can send her a message if needed, but I can't let you guys use it."
Well, can you send her a message saying that a group of people have come believing that they have made a move?
That who's made a move?
The Fifth Ascended.
She's gonna say, "Wait, who's the Fifth Ascended? There's only 4 of them."
Why do I get that question every single time?
It's almost like they move in the shadows.
I figure someone who, you know, like, is hired from people within the shadows would know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't the Silver Sigil, like, let people know when there are threats around their people that they are purchasing resources from?
They have no reason to tell Orencina that. Wait, are you asking her that?
Yeah, it's more like an offhanded comment. Like,
yeah.
At this point in time, Brock's just getting flustered with how it happened so often.
Yeah, she's just gonna say, "I don't talk to them. We're not friends."
So anyways, also within the shadows, there is this group calling themselves the Fifth Ascended. In which case, they have managed to recreate a weapon of unmeasurable time, and we believe another shadow organization would know their whereabouts.
She's gonna nod and hold the stone. You're gonna see her just go silent for a moment. Then she's gonna look up and then nod and then say she wants proof.
Well, we can meet up and I'll tell her everything that I know.
She goes silent again, and then she winces, and then says, or then she speaks again to you and says, well, after a string of several expletives, she told me to stop using the stone frivolously. And said simply someone speaking it is not proof.
Alright. Tell her I got a book that's essentially a how-to guide to make a earthfire weapon, a merchant who smuggled all the materials for the earthfire weapon into this city, and a Terai who's done everything in her powers to find out who's been researching it, and just found out that a lot of other people have.
She goes silent again, and winces one more time, and then says, okay. Can you leave that with me?
No, but we can stay with you.
And she's gonna say, I didn't bargain for this.
Well, if we could talk to ourselves, you won't have to be trouble.
She's gonna say she won't be here till nightfall. She's occupied.
I have no other plans. We can come back at nightfall.
I
don't want to leave.
Yeah, Career is going to say, your sister invited me to the memorial for those guards that were slain protecting her. I was hoping we could attend that together.
Wait, there's a memorial service being held?
Say it again?
I said, wait, there's a memorial service being held?
She nods and says, you should really spend more time with your sister. She had her steward plan it yesterday.
I'm kind of curious as to how I didn't know about it, considering I was at the house.
And she's going to say, well, we have been pretty busy lately.
That is true. But I don't want to leave our only leads to be taken by else. Like, I like having insurance in case something happens.
Effie's going to say, Effie's going to say to Brock, so, wait, how do you know her? Is she trustworthy? Career's going to say she seems pretty trustworthy. Orencina's going to say, I'm right here.
I was like, y'all two didn't meet up, but she was bolting for the door, and then two, had her sword at my throat when we first met.
Effie's just going to nod and say, I like her. Career's going to say that makes one of us. As this is...
I'm going to turn to Career and go, well, I guess you the door, and you got away in that later.
Wait, say it again, your mic broke up.
Career, when she said that she doesn't like her, and go, well, you also bolted for the door, and you got away, and the next day I ended up kidnapped.
Yeah, she's gonna say, more so, I don't like people threatening to harm you that aren't me. I would have never likely gone through with killing you.
Okay, yeah, so we're just gonna...
As this conversation is happening, you're going to hear a very loud, just cracking sound. Just...
Nathan, aren't we?
Yeah, looking towards Nathan, she has pried up 2 of the floorboards. And Nathan's gonna say, "Ooh," and reach down. Orensina is going to dash over to where she's at and shove her aside.
Okay.
She's gonna look up and say, "You guys need to leave now."
No, we just found something. What was that?
You see Nathan, or not Nathan, you see Orensina clutching several small burlap pouches against her chest, and putting a few handfuls more into her bag and say, "They're nothing, and you need to leave."
But from what I see, you just destroyed these storage buildings to put something that used to be here in the floorboards.
Career's going to place a hand on Brock's shoulder and just say, "I think she's right. It's about time for us to leave." And she's going to whisper into Brock's ear and say, "I've seen my fair share of addicts to no drugs when I see them. That's not really our place."
Gotcha. Well, I straighten myself up. I turn to Nathan and go, "You shouldn't be looking at stuff, especially when it's not yours. Especially if it involves having to pry open a floorboard."
Nathan shrugged and said, "She's so pretty, doesn't seem like she gets in a lot of fights. I was just curious why she had so many fresh scars." Orensina, still holding all the bags, is going to say, "Leave now!" Nathan is going to quicken her step towards the door.
I'm going to turn to Nathan and go, "In your pockets."
I'm going to roll her a percentage die. I don't feel like she would have stole anything, but I just wondering. Nathan is going to turn over her hands, as she doesn't have any pockets on her small dress, and or I guess she would actually be dressed in winter clothes. She'd open the robes of her winter clothes and say, "I'm clean. I didn't take anything."
I'm going to turn back to Orange and go, "One of us will be back later tonight with the proof so that we can meet up with your contact. Also, you probably need to work on that. Your reaction makes me feel as if that's very unhealthy."
She's just going to turn away and start putting the bags back underneath the floorboard.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything. I guess we will be on our way then.
Alrighty. As you guys are walking outside, Nathan's going to say rather cheerfully, "That's always been my claim to fame as an adventurer. In all the travels I've had, everything I've endured, I've never had to turn to alcohol, and I've never had to use things like that to cope with it. Some people, the road's not meant for them." And she's going to look back to the door and say, "A shame."
This really is depressing. So I'm going to turn back to the other ladies and go, well, are we going to have anyone available to come back here? I really don't feel like giving up the book just yet to people I don't know.
Effie will nod and say, "I've had dealings with the Silver Sigil before, back at the university. I can speak on our behalf."
Okay. I guess I'll give over whatever his name is, Dionard's book to Effie as evidence that we have strong beliefs that someone has the ability to make the Ryren weapon.
Career is going to ask, so are we ending our search there?
Well, other than that, we can go back and look at Krun's place and see, because we know he's had dealings with the Fifth Ascended. See if maybe there's evidence there that can point us to where the Fifth Ascended is now. And then at that, Brock's going to have an epiphany, and then turn to Nathan and ask her if she knows anything about the cloak figure that was with him. This visits him every now and then.
Give me 1 second to respond to a text message.
In your 1 second, I want to refill my glass of water real quick.
Okay. Silence! Silence! Silence!
I mean, I just did it. I mean, arguably, like, it's gonna be part of it. I don't know. Yeah, let you agree. Like, how Adaquan is their last name.
Yeah, no, I knew it was.
The way it came out of your mouth. Strong's brother, Adaquan. Their last name.
No, I was doing like, I forgot what his title was. Ocular Adaquan.
The other thing, I remembered. So we didn't take up that. I basically was like, look, his brother's dead. It's been a day. He knows I wanted him dead. That's suspicious as fuck.
Yeah.
And then we all collectively realized, like, hey, there's something else. I remembered the Calvin.
Alright, I'm back, Brandon.
Okay, I've had actually spaced out for a moment. Where's my mind going, man? Oh, I'm also tipsy tonight. That's kind of why. Okay, there you go. That kind of helps with memory, man. I was getting scared. I was like, man, I might have Alzheimer's. No, I've just been drinking a lot of Fireball. Okay, there we go.
Brandon, I worry for you. It's like every time we have a D&D session, you're half drunk.
Not every time. About every other time.
We only have one every other weekend.
Shh, you sweet summer child. But no, thinking of what we had just discussed. Nathan, you had asked Nathan if she knew the Fifth Ascended.
Yeah, because she was a slave under Krun who had contact with the Fifth.
Nathan's going to say, I've watched, him, or not the Fifth. She's gonna say, I've watched Krun and, that armored guy, Kefin, practice resurrecting, several servants, or several slaves that they've gone too far with in their torture sessions. Apparently they were practicing, so I guess getting the ritual ready for Krun himself, which might have been interrupted by you guys. Unfortunately, Krun just really liked to collect rare things, and I was one of the rarest. He didn't take me out and parade me around like someone normally would a slave. I just sat in that room for sometimes days at a time without seeing sunlight. But she's gonna just like raise a pepper thumb to her chest and say, "But I knew he wasn't gonna kill me. I mean, you don't see one of me every day."
I mean, that's true. I 100% agree with that. I mean, I love you alive. I also love you well, not hurt and beaten and scarred.
She shrugs a hand at you and says, scars heal eventually. Or mostly.
I'm glad from the brighter side of things.
She says, well, if you die once and you have a second chance at life, gotta take every day, with the cup half full. ...
Wait, you died once?
She nods and says, I don't remember it.
You know, you're the second person who said that they've had some sort of rebirth.
Is she? I think she was the first.
Jessica.
Oh yeah, Jessica. Jessica did say something similar.
Yeah, so she was like, I had the name. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Jessica. An E-Wing?
Inya Wing.
Inya Wing, yeah.
It is an elemental phoenix.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah. I had a phoenix reincarnation, and a... What kind of person is Nathan? Dark elf?
Her term in this world is a wanderkin. To put her closely to the D&D races, she's an Eladrin. She is from a demi-plane that she explained a while ago, or when you guys first recruited her to the party. However, yeah. She says she doesn't remember it.
Yeah, problems with the rebirth.
Yeah. And her story specifically, she told the party that she was told she died at sea by a mermaid who dragged her to shore and sung her a song and then swam away.
Well, That was a nice mermaid.
She
On my
nods,
list,
but Career and Effie both say mermaids don't exist.
have like a mermaid
Ooh,
on the beach.
say it again?
So I could have dreams like a mermaid on a beach, singing with the rocks as the waves crash on them. Like all men have that dream at least once.
I was trying to remember a Little Mermaid song, but I literally just, like, don't, other than Under the Sea.
Kiss the girl.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's still Sebastian singing, though.
Yeah, I don't know what Ariel is saying. Anyways. So, now that I know that they exist in this world, there's one more,
Add them to the harem! Add them to the harem!
one more that needs to be added to the harem. Must have someone of every race. Maybe two. Anyways. So we can. I mean, it's still a nice day out. Rather nippy.
It is snowing today, by the way.
Very nippy. So, do you want to go check out Krun's place as for possible leads?
Nathan's going to stop you and say, no, I was allowed to sometimes roam the house when Krun was more invested in his other monsters. But the Fifth Ascended, the man you're referring to, as far as I know, he never stepped foot there.
Well, if the Fifth was never with Krun, then the only other person that I think the Fifth Ascended would have been dealing with would have been Ocular Adequan.
I'm not even going to allow Brock a intelligence save. Career is just going to smile and just say, "I'm so glad you're trying." But the night he was in the inn with us, it was Keffin who was at his side.
Yeah, she's Keffin at his side, but they were watching out as we interviewed Krun and Adequan together. So maybe Keffin was Krun's bodyguard and the Fifth was Adequan. Notice that Keffin followed Krun all the way back to his house, whereas the other guy left. He may have been following Adequan back to his place. That's Brock's train of thought there.
I mean, that's a valid train of thought. I'm
Mr.
going
DM wanted to make it a little bit less red herring like. I mean,
now I'm gonna just roll a percentage die for 95. So Career is going to say, "Could I speak to you privately?"
I'll turn to the other two and go, one moment, ladies. We'll be right back.
Alright, you guys are going to walk ahead of Nathan and Effie, and she's going to just talk in a very low voice and say, when I gave the Fifth that medal, Keffin was at his side. He may have been acting as a liaison for the Fifth.
But didn't we kill Kevin? His body was set on fire after we killed him. And then his body was left there inside a burning house.
Career is going to say, yes, I saw what you saw too. But, with what Nathan just told me, and what you said about Jessica said she was surprised to see him alive.
So, how do you suppose we find Kevin? Should we talk to Jessica about her brother?
She's gonna say, I don't know what he was to her, but if he was a fire spawn and she was a fire spawn and she knew that he was dead, he's got to have some type of tie to her family.
Oh, true. We don't have to talk to Jessica. Well, that seems like something we need to do when we get back to the manor, then. I don't believe... Well...
Career is going to say, I've seen them on occasion. I haven't spoken with them, but, as far as I know, there'll be an attendance at the memorial this evening. They didn't lose any people in the fight, but they have spent resources protecting the Surreals and the Nakarts.
Alright. So, speaking to the Soul Arts at the memorial service is something we need to do. Alright, what time is it now?
In the day, you would be heading towards the afternoon.
Alright. I'm going to turn back to the rest of my harem and go, well, ladies, our next lead seems to take place at the memorial services happening later tonight. So, unless someone else can pitch ideas that we can bounce around right now, there is some shopping that I would like to do.
Everybody seems pretty silent on the ideas category.
So, if anyone has anything better to do, or any other ideas on how to track down the 5th. Alright.
What's her face? Effie looks like she's holding something back.
Effie, is there something that you disagree with?
She's gonna say, there's one more person, we can talk to. Or at least that you can talk to.
Oh, you're a contact that you don't want to talk to?
She's gonna say, not my contact. And she's gonna say, the man, responsible for how my people are viewed in the world.
Is it nudish?
She's, at the statement, she's gonna just grind her teeth and say, yes, the famous Terai scholar, who so wonderfully labeled us Dole Spawn.
I can't stand 5 minutes with that guy either. He likes to go off on these tangents that's just god-awful. Why would he know something about the 5th Ascendant?
She's gonna say, in Darindar, the 5th Ascendant was, attracting followers through means of having Terai turn people and making them dependent on him. All things relating to the Terai, Nudish has to have his nose in.
I haven't seen them since the party, though. How will we get in touch with them?
Did Nudish told you the organization he's a part of. Career is going to say Career is going to say wait, Nudish from the party, he was there with Ambassador Dardale. They're both a part of the Nazram cause.
Right. Yeah. Does Nazram have an embassy set up in town?
Effie's going to count on her fingers and say an embassy, a council office, 2 sets of barracks, and 2 supply houses.
You know what? I believe this information being found out 19 freaking episodes later, because I've been meaning to go back and hit on Navira for the longest time. I just didn't know where she was.
Yeah, didn't she say come talk to her if you want to get recruited and go die on the other side of the world? Or fight on the other side of the world?
Something like that. But I just know she ghosted during the middle of the party, and I could not find her again. Well, yeah. I guess we're going to go talk to the book Nazi.
The book Nazi?
The book Nazi. And
the book misunderstooder.
He spent a lot of our time wasting our time.
I think we can pick up with that at the start of next session, and then you rejoining the party. As I didn't initially plan for Nudish to be in this session, and it does take a little bit of preparation for him.
That's fine. Can we go shopping? I told you during the Facebook chat that I kind of wanted to go looking for magical instruments.
Okay. Oh, the Saturns.
Yep.
Let me look at those and the rarity. You might be able to find several of them.
I said musical instruments too, so if you want to put in a horn in there just to mess with me, I won't hate you for it.
Yeah, I do like rolling up these bard weapons, especially for the area. So, once again, if you want to do that at the start of next session, I can have some more prepared things that are more flavorful.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just thinking that, now that I've realized that bards are really heavy casters, I thought they'd be like a nice in-between, but definitely heavy casters, that my rapier may just have come out once in a blue moon. In which case, having something to make me cast your spells sounds really nice.
Bards can become like really nice geshes where they are, you know, martial caster combos. College of Valor is not bad this edition. I think College of Lore just outperforms because of the spell secrets. Being able to take a spell from any class is very powerful.
Yeah. Also, I love cutting words from the College of Lore. Just to be able to insult somebody to the point where they mess up their rolls is great.
Did you go Lore or Valor?
I went Lore.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I have cutting words.
Yeah, Lore is solid for the secrets, and then if you ever multi-class or anything, some of the things you can do with like Paladin are crazy.
Yeah.
Paladin's just always a very vicious multi-classer. But otherwise, I'm gonna say solid session tonight. discovered Orencina's a drug addict. Rediscovered that Nathan had been killed. There was something else important in the storyline that happened tonight. Oh, you discovered the origin of the Fifth Descendant's power. So
yeah. I also discovered where Navira ran off to. Like, holy shit!
That was never. That was literally never a mystery. Literally never a mystery.
Candidate number 1 has been missing this entire time.
I'm gonna just say 700 experience for tonight. Just solid, fun session. Got storyline things done, and likely complete them next session.
Do I get the same experience that the other guys got the night before when I wasn't there?
Oh, you know what? Instead, I'll just say that I will have to look at the video and look at what experience was given out. But yeah, you can just put yourself on par with the rest of the party instead.
That I was thinking about doing. I didn't expect to get any experience from doing this aside from theirs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work out better. I think they landed at like 1,200 or 1,300.
Yeah, I can ask Rob. Rob, how much experience did y'all get last session?
1900.
1900? They got a lot.
Oh, snap. Man, I'm going to have to go back and look at next session, our last session, before you guys continue on. I didn't think anything major happened. You guys got the...
Did you get less?
You guys got the book... Or no, you got the blacksmith to craft stuff. I'm too drunk right now. Alright, Jordan. I'm going to end the session.